see how responsive they are to that debate and make a decision near the time relative to how they respond to the issues raised about today.
Thanks, Sam. Matt's final comments?
I'd like to say in response to the Conservatives, I do agree that it's maybe unfair to sort of disrupt the Olympic Games. That's got nothing to do with politics, really. You know, for a political purpose. But don't you think it would be? I mean, I'm not saying pull out of the entire Olympic Games. That would be unfair on the athletes. I'm just talking about maybe the political leaders showing the faces at the opening ceremony. Do you not think it would be a good way to put pressure on China without, you know, any more direct political action?
If I was the Chinese leader, I really wouldn't be, you know, too bothered if someone didn't turn up. You know, I think that if we do want to, you know, to condemn what China's doing, we should do so openly, rather than just not going to sit and watch an Olympic opening ceremony. To be honest, it's just I mean, although it would have a bit of symbolic significance, I don't think it would be, you know, too big, to be honest. I think that it's right that we should, you know, condemn the human rights record of the Chinese in a different way.
Thanks, Dan. I'm mindful of the time. We haven't got long left, so I'm going to bring in Anthony, and then obviously one final chance for anybody who hasn't had an opportunity to ask, and then we can go back. I know Jess and James have been dying to ask further questions. We've got Jasmine as well. So Anthony.
When Brown, as Chancellor, reformed the 10p tax, he knew that it was going to affect the fall of words, so helping Labour describe itself as a social democratic party.
Well, that's for you, Sam.
Well, that was a nice question from Jess.
Actually,
Well, yeah, no, that's right. It's a nice question from Jess. I think that, to be honest, you know, it's a tricky issue. It's a tricky issue which there are a number of different perspectives on. I don't personally, you know, as Dan suggested before, you know, there isn't a whip on me. I'm not a member of Parliament. You know, Jeff Hoon is not going to come up to us and tell him and beat me about the head with a chair if I say that, you know, Labour was possibly, you know, if that was a bit of an iffy issue. I think we have to see that the fact that lower incomes have benefited far more by the systems that those taxes have reduced. You know, while it is a high tax, at the same time, you know, there were other taxes, there were other issues that were going on at the time. There was a number. It's all about economic stability, and I won't claim to be in the Prime Minister. I agree that it does have a slight issue of not necessarily conforming to being the Social Democratic Party, but you know, there's a difference between being a Social Democratic Party and a Socialist Party. And essentially, those groups of society have benefited far more than any other group of society from the schemes and systems like Sure Start, like ENA, like student tax, which did family tax credit. So, you know, the American tax people, they've got far more out of it than being
Thanks, Sam. Brendan, do you want to comment on this?
I don't know a lot about taxation, but I do know it's very foolish to essentially kick poor families when they're down, especially with inflation. Inflation seems to be on the rise with rising wheat prices due to everyone growing biofuels.
Are we talking about now or in 1997? Right, well, he's talking about 1997.
I'm talking about 90. Sorry, I thought I'm proper confused then. I think it's a very. I don't see how you can say that the poor have benefited from a Labour government, especially when you consider that over the past few years inequality has grown by most measures apart from Labour's own, of course.
I'm sorry, I dispute that highly.
And hold on a minute, I don't see how you can say students have benefited. We topple these?
Well, I think that starts a very interesting debate, which was started this morning actually by another Conservative trying to baffle me. Liberal Democrats have now dropped their policy for free university fees, as far as I'm concerned, because they've realised that the economy in any state cannot good bad or otherwise, could not support everyone who wants to go to university going to university. They realised after the 2005 election how ridiculous that policy was. The Conservatives, Boris Johnson, actually says that everyone shouldn't be allowed to go to university. He believes university, as he said in the Times Higher Educational Supplement, is made for some people and is not made for others, and we shouldn't be looking to open it up. And David Cameron believes that similarly, that university is designed around being opened up for those who want to go to university, and that government shouldn't be helping those who want to go to university otherwise. I mean, you know, we have to bear in mind significantly that students have benefited from the Labour government. Between 1989 and 1997, higher education per student financing went down by 36%. It has gone up significantly since 1997. You know, the student loan system, I think, is a system which has been poorly labelled, because yes, it is a loan, but when the word loan comes into people's minds, it's something that they think they're going to have a X% interest rate on it, and that people are going to repossess their homes if they're not going to pay back. That isn't the case with the student loan system. The student loan system is the cheapest and easiest loan to improve your circumstances you will ever get.
It's still a loan though. There's no way of
It
getting
doesn't
around
affect. It doesn't affect your credit rating. It's not a loan, as in any other system. It's actually, if you like, a more specific way of taxing you for the education that you've received. That is the
But you
best
pay
way.
tax when you're older, after you've left university, and it does. And whilst more people are going, some people are still put off by the sheer cost of it. I mean, I can
Well, I
understand.
think that's because
This-
they've not
this-
researched.
We've gone slightly off track. Can we just go back to Anthony on this point? Were you satisfied with the responses, Anthony, to your question?
Yeah, I agree more with Brendan. I do think that under the Labour government, people haven't benefited as much as they probably should have. We should have to suggest really.
It was Anson's question.
Right, it was.
Okay, we've got a few minutes left. We haven't got a lot, obviously a great deal of time. So very quickly, we can go with Jess, then James, then Jazz. As quick as we can, and obviously the responses are going to have to be very quick as well, I'm afraid.
Yeah, okay.
So if you can bear this in mind.
Okay, this is like with regards to Iraq. I mean, undoubtedly the UK government have to intervene and tackle the regime that's
That's disputable, yeah.
Well,
Very disputable.
so can you just provide the government's actions with regards to Iraq and why they made unfounded allegations about the weapons destruction?
Okay, it's a tricky one, but as quick as you can, please, Dan.
Short and sweet, we did support the war in Iraq because of what they told us. You know, we thought we did
Not
support the
Liberal
war.
Democrats who put that.
No, that was you. We did support. We did support the war in Iraq, but we thought that really the government would have gone about the means of going to Iraq in a truthful way, rather than perhaps the intelligence was wrong, but more research should have been done into it, rather than jumping on the bandwagon as soon as it pulled into town. That's a rubbish metaphor.
No, but thanks, Dan. We're keeping it brief. Brendan.
Very quickly, we shouldn't have gone in. It was a mistake.
Thank you. That's brilliant, son.
I think we went in on intelligence information that at the time seemed accurate and at the time seemed relevant, and it later turned out that it wasn't. I don't think that's a lie. I think that's a situation that was a mistake and an accident. I wouldn't say that going into Iraq was a mistake and an accident, but what I would say is that the biggest mistake that we could make is to think that now we've come to this state of hindsight, which is a great state to be in. It would be a big mistake to just simply say, well, let's pull all our troops out of Iraq en masse because they shouldn't have been there in the first place.
Thanks, son. Okay.
Very, very,
Can we
very
leave it?
quickly.
No, let's move on. I know James is itching. James.
I just want to know your views on Europe, because I suppose at the moment we're losing more and more powers as a state to Europe, and we can't stop Eastern European or any other European nations in the European Union coming to work. And Sam said before that it hasn't affected the economy, immigration, but Labour released a report last week saying that it didn't benefit the economy. And if you've got